Okay, Art, welcome to Wednesday. We're doing a mid-project critique. This is lesson 8. So in order to go into this mid-project critique, you need to have color drafts and you need to have drawings because you're kind of evaluating how you're doing with the rubric. So last class we went over the rubric. The rubric is all here on the left column. Right? And you go down and you see all the different categories. Design, pastel techniques, how neat it is, right? You should probably today focus on conceptual requirements if you're going to focus on anything. Before you turn this in, it's due today, right? But you could turn it until the end of the week because, you probably will need the week to catch up. You have to answer the questions. So I want you to have 3 or more next steps for each column. So the questions, all of these questions, are connected to questions right here, or requirements in the rubric. So does my mask contain, can I zoom in? Yes. Does my mask contain 5 or more negative metaphors for human behavior? And I could go ahead and I can click, let's see. My mask contains 2 metaphors for negative human behavior. So a next step that you would write is I need to find more metaphors to represent negative stuff. You could write stuff, that's fine, from my past that I want to leave behind, right? So that's kind of how you use this tool, right? So you keep going through and it's like, okay, do I have positive metaphors? Maybe you're realizing, uh-oh, I have no positive metaphors in my mask. My mask is very negative. And I need more positivity to help me to show my future, to show my promise. And it doesn't need to make sense. It doesn't need to be pretty. I'm just interested in your thinking. So more for next steps, right? I need to find 5 positive metaphors representing my promise. I will look in the metaphor bank and I will research Google image. So this is you kind of just putting your fingers in the rubric and you're kind of going through and you're answering all of the questions, right? Am I telling a story with my art, right? I am sort of telling a story, but I need to look at the stories in my thinking map A to get more ideas for metaphors. And then maybe a next step would be use positivity from my identity box to get ideas about how I can show my hopes for the future in my mask design. Okay, and you go through every category. Again, focus on answering these questions with concept. Is my color draft a result of multiple colored pastel drawings? No. I need to practice drawing more with pastel. And then over the weekend, right, I can draw more metaphors with blending. Watch videos to get better at using pastels. Right? So keep moving forward. Let's see what else we got. Design elements, right? Do I have a focal point? Do I have movement and flow? Not sure what movement means. I need to find out. I'm going to tell you right now, movement has to do with the eye moving around the mask, right? Because it's not a 3D mask. We're going to focus more on design. So I'll tell you a next step for movement would be to add more expressive lines and converging lines in the background that help the eye move from one metaphor to the next. So you just go through, and I want to see next steps, 3 or more next steps for each category. Okay, and make sure that you go ahead and you turn this in on Google Classroom. Good luck. If you don't have your mask done, right? If you haven't done any sort of drawing, right? You're going back to lesson, what lesson would that be? Lesson 7. And you're doing drawings. If you never did the thinking maps, go back to lesson 6, do the thinking maps, okay? It's time to really catch up and work on drawing your mask. Good luck, everyone. Turn this in on Google Classroom, please.